everybody, it's Wendy. Welcome to day 11 of the 12 Days of Christmas series. I'm so excited you're here with me again today. I hope you've been following along. If you haven't, you can always check out all the videos I've done at for the 12 Days of Christmas series on the playlist on my YouTube channel. All right, so we are going to start off with a really fun craft. I was given a gift at Onstage Local in San Diego from a friend by the name of Holly Hansen, and it was a really cute enclosure for one of these notepads. Now, I don't know about you, but every time I go to Target, I look at their section with these little notepads that are meant to hang on the refrigerator, and they usually have a magnet right here, which I have taken off as part of my project. And so she gave us these, and they were covered, and they were super cute. So I totally did a different take on the cover, but it's kind of the same concept as far as the way I wrapped it. So let's get started. You need a piece, first of all, you need a trimmer that can score, or a scoreboard. And I started with a piece of basic black cardstock cut at 7.5 by 8 3/4. And on the 8 3/4 side is where you're going to do your scoring. So we are going to start out scoring at 3.5 inches. Now, I will warn you that these dimensions may not work for you if you don't have the same size pad. So my suggestion to you is just to take a piece of white copy paper, wrap it around the pad, and try to get your dimensions that way if your pad is not one of the standard pads that are at the, well, my Target. I don't know. They're the same everywhere. Okay, and then we're going to score. So we've scored at 3.5. We're going to score at 3 3/4. Go all the way down and score at 7 5/16. And at 7 9/16. Okay, so that gives us all of our score lines that we needed. And then you're just going to fold on the score lines. Super simple thing to do. This is a great gift, holiday gift. I'm going to be giving one of these to my daughter's teacher. She is a fabulous person, and she does such a great job with all the kids. I volunteer once a week in the classroom, and I tell her all the time that I could not do what she does, and I don't know how she has the patience she has with all those 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds. They are, whew, quite the handful. Okay, so now we have our base created, and before you go any further with yours, make sure you pull off that magnet, because you don't want it on there because your pad won't lay flat, and we're going to use that magnet, so we're going to be using it. I'm using fast fuse adhesive here because I want to adhere this notepad down inside here before I do any of my decorating. So the easiest way to do this is to just line up the one edge and secure it down. And keep in mind, if you use something as strong as fast fuse, that there is no moving this after it's been put together. So make sure you do it right the first time. See, I got a little sticking out there at the bottom. Nobody cares. Okay, so now I'm using the Home for Christmas Designer Series paper. Absolutely my favorite paper. I stocked up on it so that I can have it for future Christmases. If you want to stock up on it, I highly recommend it because it's going to be gone and you'll be sad you don't have any. So this piece is cut at 3 1/4 by 7 1/4. So that, and yes, I'm using a lot of adhesive because this is something that I imagine going into somebody's purse or somewhere that it would get tousled around a lot, and I would not want it to fall apart, come apart. All right, and then I've got a strip of the note paper here that's going to go here, and that's cut at 1 inch by 7 1/4, so that I get a nice little black mat showing around this. So we're going to go ahead and adhere that down. Then I've cut a piece of gold glimmer paper at 1 inches by 1 inches. Good Lord. 1 inch by 3.5 inches. And that's going to go in here, just like so. Ta-da! And then this beautiful poinsettia is going to get put on the front cover. But before I put it down, I want to tell you, I cut this out of designer series paper, the Home for Christmas designer series paper. It was already just part of the paper and I just trimmed around the edges. But I don't like all the little white edges showing, so I'm just going to take my Stampin' Write black marker and go around the edges of this. Now, this required no stamping on my part, which was kind of sad, but at the same time, if you're trying to do a quick project, or especially if you're doing a project with a kiddo, this is a great project for them. You can just hand them a whole sheet of this 12 by 12 designer series paper and tell them to start cutting. And the cool thing about this designer series paper is it also comes with the Santas and the reindeer, so really you could have a field day cutting out really cute images and you wouldn't have to do any stamping whatsoever, which is some people's desire. They don't want to stamp. Okay, so this is the decorations. Now we have to make it stay closed, and this is where that magnet comes in that we peeled off the back of here. What we're going to do is I've cut it up into little pieces about a 1/2 inch wide, and all you have to do is stick them together like this to make sure that there's 2 good sides that go together. I'm going to use some fast fuse adhesive there. I got some on my table there. And then put some fast fuse adhesive onto this magnet, leaving it attached to that side. So now when I close this, it's going to catch the other side of the magnet. You see that? Now I wanted 2 places for it to have a closure because I just felt like it needed it. So I'm doing the same thing here. I've got the 2 pieces of the magnet. I'm putting them right side together, running some fast fuse there. Whoops. And we're going to add this one. I think we're going to add this one right here. And then we're going to add fast fuse here. Whoops. Get on there. Again, sticking it down. And now you have this really awesome magnetic closure for this notepad. Now when this all gets used up, you'll just have this piece back here, and really you could adhere another notepad to it and it would be fine. And that's it. That's the super cute little notepad holder. Really, this could go either way. It could go this way too. But I just love how it turned out. Super simple. If you want the printable instructions for this, you do need to be signed up to get my emails. You can do that by going to my blog at luvinstampin.com. Put in your name and your email at the top of the screen so that you can get my emails. And at the end of the 12 Days of Christmas series, you'll get all the printable tutorials in one big email. I've already sent out half of them, but the other half will come at the end. And then I'll be actually including all of them in case anyone missed out. But I will not be providing them after December 11th. So if you want the printable tutorials for these, make sure that you get on my list. All right, thanks so much for stopping by. I'll see you tomorrow for our very last 12 Days of Christmas video and blog post. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.